because that's typically the number of times it takes for a person to try something before they quit. Right? The number of times it takes someone to do something before they quit. See, once you go past 3, you won. Right? Once you go past 3, you won. So let's see, we're at 30, we'll go ahead and slow it down with the music. What's going on, family? Yo, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I hope everybody, thanks for recording. I hope everybody is having a great day. I know we started this day off with so much energy, crazy profits, right? Everybody, you know, that hopped on the live sessions, we won every single trade that we took, right? GU, S&P, US 30. I mean, guys, we literally came up today, right? We came up today. I'm doing my swipes trial. I made some profits off of that. So that's one step closer to my goal of educator, you know, all of those things, right? Today is just a day of just things just being manifested. It's a great, beautiful day for all of us. And now we're about to actually take it to another notch, guys. We're about to take it to another level because we have an individual who I've been watching for some time now, guys. I've been watching this individual for a while. He doesn't know, but one of my best friends is actually Iffy Marshall, right? Iffy Marshall V, that's actually one of my best friends. And we've actually talked about this individual before as well. And this individual, he posts on social media, he posts on YouTube. I remember just one day, I just had to check it out. I just said, okay, what's all the hype about? You know, what makes this individual so special? And guys, when he started talking and the way that he began to express himself, I knew that this man had been through some stuff. I knew that this man had been through some stuff to a point where he definitely had to look at everything, strip everything down, and rebuild himself back up to be the person that he is, that we see today, right? And today, I have with us Chairman 10, Jordan Eckel, right? Chairman 10, Jordan is not your average chairman. See, what our chairman elite in the company described this man as is one of the chairmen who trade, right? See, there's a lot of people in this company that they get to chairman, but they don't actually make money in the markets, right? They play in the markets, but they don't make money in the markets, right? We're talking about somebody that they came into this and their love was trading, and the building, it just came, right? It just came with the passion. And also, another title that this guy holds, I was messing with him about this yesterday, is what we call the low maintenance chairman, right? This is what I hope, this is what I dream to be, is what my mentors would say is the low maintenance chairman. What that means is you not having to send him money to get him out of trouble. You not having to pop up and show up at every one of his events. Self-sufficiency, guys, self-sufficiency. This guy is one of those people who is well, nobody's self-made, but he's one of those people who's really self-bred, right? I would say self-bred is a different term. But he built himself up to a point where he could actually attract, right, an organization that is like-minded like himself, who wants to trade, but also sees the vision and actually building up this business to the highest potential, right? I first actually witnessed Jordan speak in Dallas at the convention. We had a mastermind, and when he started talking, I'm like, yeah, that's really dope. Like, this guy is different, and that's how I want to do it. I'm a trader too. I can relate to this guy, Jordan. And today I have him about to go over some valuable information for everybody on this call. I want to see 777s flood the chat like never before, guys. Please drop as many 7s as possible until your fingers get tired. And we're going to go ahead and just light this up. I wanted to see a lighten up for Jordan as he goes ahead and introduces himself to you guys and gives you major value. If you don't have a pen and paper in front of you right now, this is not the day. Let's get serious, guys. He's about to give us all the sauce. And this is definitely going to be a training for our group to remember, guys. So without further ado, my boy, Infinite Abundance 777, Chairman 10, Low Maintenance Chairman, the chairman who trades, Jordan Eckel. Let's go!
Yo, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you, Zakar, bro. You're like the first person to ever pronounce my last name right, so I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And, it's kind of funny how this call came about. Really, I was just kind of looking on Instagram, and I was kind of just looking for like-minded people, whether they're in my organization or not. And some of the things that Zakar always posts, it's things that I relate with. I can definitely tell we're on the same wavelength. So I already know that you guys being a part of his organization, we're definitely going to be able to relate on some certain things. But, the first thing I really want to go over and really just let you guys know is just a little bit about my story when I first got started, just so you guys know that, I'm no one special. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I credit my success to the information that I have been able to access. And growing up, I was in a small town, about 600 people in the town, and there's about 50 people in my graduating class in high school. And, for me to come from that, frame of mindset growing up, making money online and doing things and talking to people that I've never met before was way out of my comfort zone. Like nowhere near my comfort zone. Where I grow up, it's like, everyone's mom, their dad, their grandma, their grandpa, and everyone lived in the same town generation after generation after generation. So it's like, for me to talk to someone I didn't know, it was just like this whole new thing. And I was very shy, very much in my comfort zone, in my shell. I was staying at my parents' house for the first 9 months in the business. I actually dropped out of college without seeing any results. I literally just saw the vision. It was clear to me. I was always the person that I was kind of against formal education. It didn't really make sense to me. I always thought it was outdated. And I knew that I was meant for something more than just a 9-to-5 job. And if you're on this call right now, then you probably can relate to that in some shape or form. You know that there's more out there for you than to just be doing the same thing that everyone else does for the rest of your life. Like, it was literally 2020. And if you don't have an income online, you're way behind. And I'm just blessed to be a part of this company. And I'm just so grateful for Christopher Terry for actually making the company. And, shout out to my mentors, Gustavo and Ray and Ricky, Emery, Darwin, all these people. It's like, where I come from, man, I didn't know this information. I never met a single person that made 6 figures. So just being a part of the company is just giving me the opportunity to do all these different things. I'm forever grateful for that. But, as you guys are getting involved, I don't know how much experience some of you guys have. Maybe you guys have been in for a few weeks, a few months, maybe some of you over a year. And, the main thing is, guys, where the whole point here is to not only be involved, but to actually get the result that you're looking for. And what I'm going to be going over today is how to actually get the results that you want, because a lot of times we're just on these calls, we're on the webinars, we're taking notes, we don't even really know what we're doing. We're just kind of doing what we think is best, right? We all just do what's best with the information that we know. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is called the 4 basics to success. And these 4 basics, any result or lack of result that you have will always come back down to these 4 basics. That's a guaranteed, proven fact. And when I show you these 4 basics, I'm going to explain to you how, guys, this is on my whiteboard right next to me. I can literally show you. It's literally on my whiteboard. This is something that I go over every single day. And it's not only something that I go over every single day, but multiple times throughout the day, I reprogram my mind to this specific information, okay? So the 4 basics to success, the number one, the first step is, who are you listening to? And the majority of people in the world, not necessarily on this call, but in the world, the reason why they don't have, a type of result that they really want in life is because they don't have the right people or the right information in their life. They're listening to the wrong people. They're listening to people that are just around them, people that they're familiar with. They're listening to their friends, their family. But what I had to do when I was 9 months in, I was 10 months in the business, I was with my parents, I was with my small town friends, and on a subconscious level, I was listening to them for my whole life. But what clicked for me was when one of my mentors said, hey, listen, you have to listen to people. I think it was Gustavo who told me, he said, listen to people who have the results that you want. So sometimes you're going to have to stop listening to mom and dad when it comes to your future if they don't have the future you want. If you're blessed to be in a home where your family actually has the success or lifestyle or personality or things that you desire, and that's a blessing. And I'm not saying, I love my family and they have blessed me. I'm not saying I had a rough childhood or anything like that, but what I'm telling you is what I envisioned for my life was greater than what I could currently see when I got started. And if you kind of agree with me there, it's like, yo, listen, I want to be different instead of being like everyone else. I'm different. So if you're different, then you got to listen to different people and do different things. So who are you listening to? It comes down to, guys, you need to be listening to the right personal development, the right books and the audios. These are really important, guys. And to this day, 2 years later, over and over and over, it's repetition that's going to be the key to actually reprogramming your mind. Repetition is the key. If you listen to this training once, you may remember for a couple days. If you don't write it down, you're probably not going to remember anything when you wake up tomorrow. So it's important that you're taking notes, but taking notes in order to apply the information, master it, and then go ahead and teach it. The whole point in this business and network marketing, guys, the whole point is to gather information so that you can develop yourself, so then you can go ahead and share it with your team and develop them. Everyone wins. When your team grows, you're going to grow, and vice versa. That's kind of the way it works. And the number 2 basic to success, this is what a lot of people, if you're not getting what you want right now, you really need to look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. This is called the Teachability Index. And everyone thinks they're coachable. Everyone thinks they're teachable. But I'm going to go into what this actually means, because a lot of times, guys, we don't really know what this means. We think we're coachable. Oh, yeah, we're on the webinars. I mean, I'm taking notes, right? I'm taking notes. I'm being coachable. I'm on the webinar. That's what everyone thinks, right? That's what you think. But, guys, that's really not the case, right? It's more than just getting on the webinars. It's willingness to learn, which it's half the equation. Willingness to learn. You're on the call. So it's showing yourself. It's showing your team. Is showing me that, hey, listen, I know there's something out there that I need to learn, so I'm on the call, I'm taking notes, right? It's really simple. But this is the part where people don't really get it, and it's called willingness to accept change. And guys, it's really as simple as this. How can you expect a different result if you're doing the same thing over and over and over? You can't do the same thing every day and expect a different result. You're going to have to do something differently. And specifically, guys, find someone out there in your industry, in your business, which this is obviously Forex and network marketing. Find someone out there, whether it's your upline, whether it's your mentor, whether it's someone you see on YouTube like Alex Morgan, David Benitier, right? Find someone who has the results you want. Learn what they are teaching and apply it. You have to do what they say. Not only write it down to take action in the next 24 hours. One thing that's helped me is get out of that mentality of, oh, I'll do it when I feel like it. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Or, I'll do it someday. Maybe I'll do it next week. Once I get inspired, once I get motivated, then I'll go ahead and do it. And guys, get into the now mentality. What really changed for me was when I decided to, hey, listen, my fears are literally just a figment of my imagination. Fear and doubt and worry, that's just negative goal setting. So you got to think about what you want to happen. Stop worrying about the worst case scenario, guys. The only thing that can create the worst case scenario is you focusing on them. So stop thinking about what you don't want to happen and actually put some belief and effort into what it is you're doing. Because if you're listening to the right people and doing what they say, you got to think to some extent, if you do what they say, or if you say what they say, and do what they do, you're going to eventually get what they have in some shape or form. You're going to get that type of result, but you have to look yourself in the mirror like, look, what are my habits today, right now? And what did I do yesterday, last week, last month? Because that's why I'm here where I'm at right now. My own decisions that I made, take responsibility is one of the first steps in really owning up to your mistakes from the past and taking responsibility. Guys, if you're going to take responsibility for your wins, you got to take responsibility for your losses as well. You can't be saying, oh, well, my team didn't do this. Oh, well, my upline didn't teach me this. Oh, well, the company this, the person that, like, look yourself in the mirror, regardless of the situation. Are you going to be a victim to your environment and to your life, or are you going to be the creator of your environment and your life? Which one are you going to choose? Are you going to keep blaming everyone else for your lack of results? Or are you going to say, listen, I know I'm the person that's going to get these results. What do I have to do? And what changed for me, my first year in the business, what really slowed me down, it was 1 year into the business, I was Platinum 1000. And what slowed me down was I wasn't really that teachable at the beginning. I was always willing to learn, so I was halfway teachable, but I wasn't willing to accept change. And it's because this thing called fear. I was afraid to do something that I'd never done before. But it came to a certain point in time that some of you probably already reached this point, and if not, you're going to get there, where it's to the point where, wow, look, I've been in the business for 6 months. I've been here for a year. I'm sick and tired of not having the results I want. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care if you tell me to jump off a bridge, I'm going to jump off a bridge. And I got to that level of thinking. I said, listen, I literally went up to Gustavo. I went up to Ricky in March in Vegas 2019. I said, listen, I'm Platinum 1000. I've been here for about 6 months. I'm in Platinum 1000 for 6 months. I've been in the business for a year. I'm ready to get to the next level. What do I need to do? And what happened, what changed for me right there in that moment was I actually decided to take action on what I learned, guys. The only way to get rid of fear, the best way to get rid of fear is by taking massive action. That's literally the only way I can think of, because the fear is never going to go away. Fear is not really fear. It's just unfamiliarity, meaning what's comfortable to you is what's familiar. So realize this. If your goal is, let's just say, for example, your goal is Chairman 10, okay, well, regardless of how I feel about right now about what a Chairman 10 would do, I'm deciding today, which is what I did, guys. I decided, hey, I'm going to be a Chairman 10. And once I made that decision, all the things that I was afraid to do suddenly weren't that scary anymore, because I knew I had to do them at some point. And that's where it comes into that now mentality. Like, if you look yourself in the mirror, you're like, okay, I'm going to be a full-time trader. Okay, now a full-time trader tells you, hey, you can't over leverage your account. Hey, you got to follow risk management. So do you want to take their advice now or in 6 months? Right. Are you going to give yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year? Are you going to wait knowing that you know the information right now? Why don't you just take the action right now? Knowing that, hey, if I'm going to go Chairman 10, I'm going to have to start running events. And that was the scariest thing for me, was speaking in front of other people. I never spoke in front of a group of 3-4 people before. I've never even done a webinar of 30 people before. And what happened? Matt Rosa said, hey, if you're Platinum 1000, if you're Platinum 2000, you need to run your own events. And I said, oh my God, I've never ran an event before. That's so scary. But I decided I was Chairman 10. And that's why I decided to go ahead and start running events. Last year I ran 60 events. And I went from Platinum 1000 to Chairman 10 in 7.5 months. Just like that. Quantum leaps in your results will happen when you start to think on a quantum level. You start to take action on a quantum level and say, who I was yesterday does not have to be who I am today. Who I am today is my choice. I will be the version of myself that I want to be. And you guys, for you to get to that thinking, you have to really just look yourself in the mirror every single day and look at yourself until it's like, a lot of times we don't really love ourselves. We don't really respect ourselves. So we kind of avoid these conversations. We kind of avoid doing this. But guys, I promise you, get a piece of paper out, get your notebook, okay, and write out your life exactly as you would like it to be. Write out your life exactly as you would like it to be. Now think, okay, now let's just say, for example, okay, we got Nate on the call, we got Tatiana on the call, we got Juan, right? Well, look yourself in the mirror, say, hey, listen, what would the best version of me look like? And just get deep into thinking that. Just say, what would the best version of me look like? What would my mindset be? How would I feel about myself? How would I look? What type of habits would I have? What type of food would I eat? What type of decisions would I make? Okay. And you need to write that down, and you need to focus on it over and over and over and over. And that's going to start changing your self-image. And you have to change the way you see yourself, because your actions that you take are only going to be equivalent to how you see yourself. So you have to see yourself. You have to really begin these actions with the end in mind and really make a decision. No matter where you're at right now, it's really irrelevant, guys. What matters is, where are you going? Decide to do what you got to do today. And I promise you, it may be difficult. It may be hard at first. And it's not even that it's hard. It's literally just unfamiliar to you. Everything that you did the first time was scary. So if you know, like, think about it like this, guys, which is more important? Like, your joy of freedom has to be greater than your fear of talking to other people. Your joy of freedom you have to focus on, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't like talking to people. Most people don't like talking to other people all the time. I literally still don't. But guess what? I enjoy my freedom way more than I enjoyed working at a job and playing it safe and being comfortable. And like, if I didn't get out of my comfort zone, I'd still be working a job right now. Like, literally, you got to think like that. Say, hey, listen, I will learn because I'm learning from the right people. A lot of the top network marketers of all time, the top earners, are natural introverts. You can literally look this up. They were shy, but they said, hey, listen, what's more important, me being shy and just being comfortable for the rest of my life, or doing something differently so that I can get a different result? And when you start getting into these actions, what's important is you learn number 3, basic to success. And along with number 2, number 1, this one right here, I will go ahead and say more than likely, this is the one that everyone on this call is stuck on. Almost every single one of you, this is the one you need to focus on. This is one of the hardest ones to grasp, but once you can really make sense of this in your own head, things are going to change so fast for you. You got to really get this in your head. So you want to really write this one down. And the training balance scale, and what this is, there's essentially 2 sides, and you want to get maybe half of your notebook page or a new fresh page and write this down and put so much emphasis on this, because this might go over your head if you don't really focus right now. This might go over your head. I hope it doesn't. The left side is attitude, feelings, emotions, beliefs, thoughts, right? That's the left side, okay, of the training balance scale is what it's called. It's called the training balance scale. That is the left side. And the right side, guys, this is the actions, this is the how-to, the plan, the strategy, the technique. And you got to think about it like this, okay? 1% of the world controls 99% of the wealth. 99% of the world controls 1% of the wealth. Why is that? Because 99% of people, including probably everyone, if not almost everyone on this call, consciously or subconsciously, you're focused on this side way more than this side. But what you got to realize is the left side is not 50%, not 80, not 99.9%. That's almost 100%. Okay. Why is it that we all get the same information? We all take the same notes. Some of us, we all even take the same actions, but someone gets the result and someone doesn't. It's because you're too focused on the strategy and you haven't got your thoughts right. Okay. If your thoughts are not in alignment with your goal, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to work to full potential. Like, get this, guys. If you can get your attitude right, the facts don't even count anyway. The plans, the strategy, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do will work when your attitude is right. I'm not saying a good attitude. You guys may think you have a good attitude. You probably, odds are you have a way better attitude right now than you did a year ago, just because you joined this company. You got introduced to personal development. You've been around positive, inspiring people, right? That's a good attitude. A lot of you definitely have a good attitude, I'm sure. I'm not talking about a good attitude. I'm talking about the right attitude, the attitude of, hey, you know what? This appears to be bad. This appears to be negative. But guess what? I know that it'll work out just fine. Okay? You got to realize what I said earlier, right? What is your goal? What do you want your life to look like? Write it down and know that it's done. It doesn't matter what you do. It's working out for me. Something that you do today, action-wise, it's either directly getting you there, or if you're either doing it right or you're doing it wrong. But if you do something wrong, you can't look at that as a bad thing. That's the key here. Everything is neutral, guys. Everything is neutral. It's your thoughts that make something good or bad. So listen, if I do something right, awesome. Good job. Good job, Juan. Good job, Ebony. Good job, Nate, right? Good job. You did it right. Well, if you did it wrong, hey, good job. I just found a way that it didn't work. I'm getting closer to my goal. That's how you got to think. Hey, listen, it doesn't look like it's good, but guess what? I know that this is actually a good thing for me. It's just another thing that I had to learn on my journey in my process. It's just another thing I had to learn. And the most successful people, the multimillionaires, the billionaires, they know and they understand that it's all their attitude. It's all the way they feel. The most successful people make their decisions based off of feelings, not based off of what's the perfect plan. They try to think, like, get out of your mind and get into your heart space. That is the key to really getting massive results. Get out of your own mind, fire your brain, and hire your heart. You got to stop thinking so much and just trust the moment and trust your feelings. Because listen, guys, I'm not going to get too deep or esoteric with you right now, but what I'm going to tell you is, if you are thinking about what you want most of the time, you guys have probably heard this, what you think about the most, you become. Okay, so you need to have a goal card, right? You have your goal card and you're looking at it every day, you're focused on it every day, you're thinking about it, that's your most dominant thought. That's going to be your dominant vibration. You guys have heard Bob Proctor. You've heard some of these people, they talk about vibrational frequency, right? Well, if you're thinking about your goal all the time, you're going to be your dominant vibration. If that's your dominant vibration, guess what? Your actions are going to be in alignment with those thoughts, right? If you're thinking about the goal the most and believing you're going to receive it, your attitude is automatically going to be right. Your plans, your strategies, they're going to work because you focus on what you want. But where people mess up is they say, you know what, I want to go platinum 1000, but you know what, let me just do some calls, I'll do some webinars, I'll get on some trainings, I'll eventually get there. That's what people think. They don't really think these things through, guys. You got to say, like, listen, I'm getting to this level. I don't care how. I literally do not care how. My attitude is that it's already done. Well, no matter what I do, it'll work. And if it doesn't work, it's going to work. And that's how you have to think like that. The only way to really think like that is you got to really, I'm going to get into the fourth level, the fourth basic to success. And this is how you learn how to learn. And you guys probably think you know how to learn already. And I'm not saying I've mastered this information. I'm not saying that. I've only been accessing this information for a year and a half now, but this is the information that I've learned and applied to get me to the results that I currently have. And they're going to get me to the next level and beyond. And this is the 4 levels of learning. The 4 levels of learning. You got to realize how this works, because when you can realize how this works, you'll know where you are at currently. The only way to really know where you're going is you got to know where you're at first. Where am I is right here. This is where I've been. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, detach from that. This is where I'm going, and you're going to put your focus here. Okay? This happened. Okay, what lessons do I need to learn? But cut it off. It doesn't exist anymore. You are present, experiencing the moment, becoming in a vibrational match with your goal. That's what you're doing. You're in the moment, present moment, making decisions on feelings that align with your goal, because that's what you're thinking about the most. And your plans, your strategies, it'll automatically work. And if it doesn't work, that doesn't mean it's not working. That just means you found out the wrong way. Now you're closer to finding the right way. And it's not going to be perfect the first time. It's not going to be perfect the first couple of weeks. Like, you got to really focus on this months and months for you to really feel what this feels like, what I'm talking about right now. Okay? So the 4 levels of learning. The first level, this is called unconscious incompetence. And this means that I don't know that I don't know. And that means you literally just have no concept of what's going on. But if you're on this call, you're past that. When it comes to trading, network marketing, you're already past that. This is called conscious incompetence. You're like, okay, I've been involved for a little bit. I know there's some information out there that's going to help me level up. I don't know what that is. I now know that I don't know. That's conscious incompetence, okay? And number 3 is going to be conscious competence. You know the information, but you have to think about it. It's not a full habit or lifestyle yet, okay? And the tricky part here is number 3. Everyone that takes this business seriously will get to level 3, literally guaranteed you'll get to level 3. But the key here is you got to put effort in that level for you to get to the 4th level, which is what you're going to be able to master anything, is called unconscious competence. This means you've done it so many times that you know how to do it without thinking about it. And when I got started in the business, I was on Gustavo and Ray's, I was on their webinars, and I was thinking to myself, wow, I would love to be that person speaking on the webinar. I would love to do that, but I don't know what I would say. I would be like, what would I even say? And the thing is, guys, I was thinking too much. I was overthinking it. You guys on this call, maybe you're overthinking it yourself. And guys, don't overthink this. Don't be perfect. Give yourself permission to mess up. But once you start learning the information, what I did to get from level 3 to level 4, I was listening to Austin Gotzi, Alex Morgan, David Diminiti. I was listening to him 12, 16 hours a day, because if you're trying to present this business with your own thoughts and ideas, you got to think, okay, where have your thoughts and ideas got you right now? And you got to really just humble yourself and say, do I want to speak what Alex Morton speaks, or do I want to speak what I think? Like, and then just listen to the same people over and over and over and over and over. Don't have to think anymore. And I was just automatically speaking whatever Austin Gotzi was saying. I wasn't even thinking anymore. I was just focusing on my goal and then listening to personal development all day. And then what I would do is, okay, my feelings are telling me I should get on a call right now, so I'm just going to get on a call. Not really worrying about it, not thinking too much of it, because I know I'm going to Chairman 10. That was my whole point. That was the focus. I'm going Chairman 10. I don't care if someone says no. I don't care if I blow my account. Like, it doesn't matter, because it's just a part of the process. It's just a part of the process. If you're not willing to go through the process, you're not going to get the results you want. It's not going to be, no one's going to have, like, people think success is like this, guys. In reality, it's like that. You think you're there. Oh, nope. Oh, yep. Oh, you're there. Yeah, well, guys, there's always, it's just, look at that. It looks like an uptrend, right? It's a chart. It's trading and building. It's the same thing. Your mindset, your life, it's all the same thing. Everything is unity, right? Everything is literally, just realize it's going to be a process. The only way to guarantee failure is to quit. That's the only way. The only way to guarantee success is you keep going. You keep going. My first 9 months, I was P1K. I had 0 withdrawals. Or 6 months, I was P600, no withdrawals. I was negative trading. And then year 2, I was able to, I'm not here to talk about my income. It doesn't even make a difference. Some of you guys know, like, we were able to do some things that I'm telling you, I learned from this information, from my mentors. I didn't try to do it by myself. And what's going to hold you back is if you try to think you have to do it by yourself. I promise you, just reach out to anyone that has a result that you don't have, and just be willing to learn new information. No matter what you think you know, you got to really look yourself and, like, if you think you know the information, but you don't have the result, that's categorically proven that you do not know it. So it's an experience we all go through at some point in time, like whether it's trading or building. I know a lot of us on here, we probably already know how to trade. We know how to mark up the chart. We know how to execute, but for some reason, our profits aren't matching our pips. And I had to experience that same thing for the longest time. I was like, yo, I've caught 100 pips like 10 weeks in a row, but somehow I'm only break even. And I was like, what is going on here? And it's because, I was not thinking the right thoughts. I wasn't tracking my trades. And, when it comes to trading and things like that, it's just, you just got to have a plan. You got to have a plan, but you have to see the end in mind before you get the plan. And when people mix this up, they try to make the plan before they see the end. And it just doesn't work that way. Oh, well, I'll just take a couple trades. I'll just take a couple signals. And then, I should be in profit. They told me I'd be in profit. I'll just take some signals. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to focus too much. Well, when you realize it's 99% your thoughts, you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to do whatever it takes. Anything and everything that it takes. But the last thing, I'm not going to keep this call too long. But what I will do is I will open up for questions at the end. I always like to open up for questions at the end. But I want to give you guys a few recommendations when it comes to books. And books, books are really magical. If you don't read books every single day, whether it's 1 page, 5 page, like, just create the habit. And the thing is, guys, your results and success, like, successful people aren't better than you. They just have created successful habits, and you can do the same thing. I don't believe anyone is better than anyone. What separates one person from another is the access to information, implementation of that information. That's the only thing. We're all equal. We're all God's children. We all came from the same fabrics of the universe. No one is better or worse than you. You got to look at everyone as equal. Everyone has the same potential to grow 100%. Doesn't matter where you come from. Do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. You probably heard this. Like, don't compare yourself to someone else. Comparison is a thief of joy. Focus on you and your own results. Everything else will worry about itself. You don't have to think about someone else. It doesn't matter. Just do what you have to do. Just do what you have to do. It can take you 5 years, but who cares? You didn't quit, right? You're still going to get there. You're still going to get there. So I'm going to give you like 3 books, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions. There's a couple books. Number 1 that I've been reading recently is actually right next to me. The magic of thinking big. The magic of thinking big. And this book right here is it's been recommended by Kevin Trudeau, Alex Martin, David Emanitier, you know, all these people have talked about this book. And it really just tells you how, like, two people given the same exact scenario, one of them achieves massive success and one fails, and has everything to do with their thoughts and their perception of the situation. Like I said earlier in the call, everything, when you can just look at everything as it is, as neutral, and put your own judgment on it based off of what you want to happen, instead of just, oh, well, that's a bad thing that just happened to me, I'm so unlucky. Like, you gotta stop thinking like that to really get in to the next level. You really gotta stop thinking like that. But when it comes to building the business, the number one book, like, there's all kinds of books on network marketing, but really what I think what's the important one is just a foundational understanding of relationships and people is how to win friends and influence people. It's really, when I read that book, I've read it twice now or 3 times, and the more you guys know Bob Proctor, right? He's read the same book every day for like 60 years. So it just tells you that it's not that you don't know it, it's just you're different every time you read it. So you're going to pick up, you have new neural pathways when you reread the same things or listen to the same audios. Why repetition is so key is because you're mastering it, because you are different. You have new neural pathways in your brain. Therefore, you have new places for the same old information to connect to your new neural pathways. Therefore, you're learning new information, even though it's the same audio or the same book. And repetition is the only way, really the only way to get to unconscious competence, which is going to be how you master any level of learning information. You have to repetition over and 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 over. I've been listening to Your Wish Is Your Command, 12 hours a day for the last 4 months. And I've been listening to it in my sleep. I've been writing notes on it. I have it on my whiteboards. And, it's no coincidence I can just tell you this information off the top of my head. I don't have any notes on me. I didn't prepare anything. This is something that I've learned on an unconscious competent level because I've repeated it over and over and over. And you guys can do the exact same thing with any information that you choose. When you realize how this works, it's repetition. It's repetition. It's a subconscious mind. It's a subconscious mind. But those two, and then really just, I don't want to go into so many books. There's so many great books. There's really so many great books. But I would love to, if anyone has questions, literally just in general about anything, whether it's trading, whether it's building, whether it's mindset, whether it's stuff we went over. I think someone raised their hands. I'll definitely, okay, we'll do, okay, Julio. Julio's the first hand I see.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great. Blessed, can't complain. How are you doing?
That's great to hear. I'm blessed as well. I have a question, and it just came to my mind. I just wanted to happen to hear what your results were. But what was the biggest aha moment for you, where you feel like it unlocked doors or a lot of potential within you? What was that big aha moment that pretty much changed your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. And really, I get aha moments every day. But if I could point it down to one thing, it's really tough to point it down to one thing, but I would definitely say it had to be the realization that the aha moment that got me to another level of thinking was when I realized that I was in control. Once I started to learn about energy and vibrations, I realized that I had, on a vibrational level, got myself into the current situation that I was in. Therefore, using that same law can get myself into any situation that I want. And once I realized I had that power, I couldn't go back. I was already too deep into this stuff. At that point in time, that was about a year ago, maybe about a year ago. I was maybe Platinum 2000 at the time, or Platinum 5, whatever it was. But I realized that I was in control. And once I realized I was in control, I said, I have to see how great I can become. And I can't be lazy anymore. I can't go back to the old habits anymore, because I know that I have the power to do anything that I want. And once I had that realization, I think it was a Bob Proctor video, Do You Know Who You Are? It's a really old video where he's really young. You could look that up. When I watched that video, I think that was one of the key moments, was that video for sure. But like I said, aha moments, every time you're feeling down or something happens to you, it's a new aha moment that always gets you. And it's just a nonstop process of aha moments. But I would say just that's what I would say. That specific video really just shifted. It can take one idea. Like, it can literally be as simple as one idea that you get, you write it down, and that one idea 10x's your income, literally, whether it's in a year or two, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I would say. Just be ready to write down your ideas at any given moment. Do not let your ideas slip from you. And this is a little off topic of the question, but I just remembered, you should always have, whether it's an index card or a mini notebook or a pocket notebook, you need to have something that you can write down your ideas the moment that you get it, because your ideas are coming from infinite intelligence. It's literally like God speaking to you through your intuition. Like, that's literally what it is. So you know that you can trust when you get an inspired thought. It's an idea that you must take action on. It's this thing called the law of diminishing intent. So if you get an idea, oh my God, it's an amazing idea, but if you forget about it, you don't take action on it, nothing happens. So you write it down as soon as possible. And I think that was probably it as well. When I made the realization that I need to write down my ideas and take action on them, it's just so many different things. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And that was an amazing answer. And God bless you, bro.
Appreciate you. Was there, I believe, someone else? I don't see any other hands, but if you guys have any other questions, definitely feel free to unmute yourself. I believe you can unmute yourself without me doing it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Did someone say something?
No, that was me. I said, yes, sir. Somebody's supposed to be unmuting themselves to ask a question.
Okay,
right?
okay. Taiwana, I believe. Taiwana, Alexis. Okay, what's up?
I'm doing well. I've gotten a lot of gems from you today, but something resonated with me. I'm from a small town, so I want to know on the building side, how did you really reach out? Because I graduated with like 25 people. Everybody knows everybody. How did you really reach out and kind of get people to join or get them to come into the business?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question. And the thing is with small towns is, well, here's the thing. I have I don't know the exact number, 600 or 700 something people in my business, and I can tell you right now that 0 of them are from my town. And you got to just literally it's all social media, because the people in small towns, they're just not on this level of thinking. So it's really just not worth your time and energy. It really isn't. There may be a few that run with you. There might be a couple people. And I know that the more success that you get, then the people that are going to hit you up. But growing up in a small town, it's like they know your family, they know your family's family. So it's like it's really hard for people to see past what they know of you and your family from the past. So it's like, I don't even worry about them. It's not that I don't care. It's just like, I'm not focused on that. I just started building my business I started building my brand on Instagram, and I had 500 followers when I joined on Instagram. And I I was on Emery's calls, and I was just doing everything he said as far as Captivate and Clean Air, which I don't know if you can even use those apps anymore, and just going the social media route, because it's just, there's millions of people that are just like you, but we're so caught up with the people that we know because we're afraid to talk to people we don't know. But a lot of people we know aren't even necessarily like us. It's just the people we ended up near because it's a small town. There's probably maybe 1 person, 2 people I could relate with from my high school, maybe, and then there's millions of people that are literally just like you that are out there on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube, waiting for you to expand your page and your brand so that they can see it. And and there's an infinite amount of people out there, and there's there's new 18-year-olds every day. There's new people being born every day. And I would just literally just not even worry about the people back home. They'll hit you up. When they see you making moves, they will literally hit you up. Will they do anything? I don't know. I have never had anyone that was from my town that did anything. I had a few join and quit and whatever, and that's awesome. Maybe some will join later on, but that's what I would say. Just focus on people that are like you regardless of where they're from, and don't be attached to the people that you know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I believe we have Alexis. Alexis, I believe, was that? Oh, three participants. If you guys can unmute yourself without me, then you can. Okay, we have.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, so I'm pretty new into the business and I'm not really wanting to focus on actually building right now. I'm kind of trying to build my schedule around adjusting to trading and learning and self-development. What would you say to someone who actively has a 9-to-5 in a career that they have been aspiring for, but they also want to make money on the side with this being a main focus in their like free time?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're wanting, you're using this to supplement your income, right? This is an extra income. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, a lot of times when people have a job or they have some other things going on, some people will use that as an excuse. But in my experience, when I was more busy, I actually got more done because like I know trading's important and I only have 3 hours a day and I have to get it in those 3 hours. So it almost forces you to focus, which is really a blessing. But really when you got other things going on, you just have to run a schedule. We really just, okay, pick out, I always tell people, pick out 1 to 3 hours on the same time every day and always trade that time or get on the same go live from the same educator and just repeat it over and over. When I had a part-time job and I was living at my old town, well, I would wake up every morning, I'd get on the Saldo sessions and trade teacups every single day, and probably 4, 5, 6 months straight, didn't miss a single session. And I know Wall Street Ray, if you know Wall Street Ray, he was on Lex Waves for probably a year straight, almost every single session. So I would just say pick out an educator that fits your schedule, because there's so many different educators that are live at any given moment. So if you like to stay up late, pick out a London session, maybe like a Chris Derrick, and then especially like as a beginner, you want to stick to simple things, simple strategy. And Chris Derrick's super simple. Depending on your time in the morning, whichever time lines up, you got Gold Cup with Kim and Luke, you got Harmonic Scanner with Manny, and then you got Abel, really back to back. So you could literally just keep it simple and just do one educator and just get on every session they have, and then just take the trades they do or learn their strategy. And just as far as personal development, you got to turn your car into a classroom, a mobile classroom. When you're doing the dishes, have headphones in. When you're brushing your teeth, when you whatever you do during it, like always have the headphones in, because you're just reprogramming your mind. And your mind is it's one of the most important things that you can really do. You got to change the way you think to get the results. And we were just talking about that. And it's really personal development. I don't know what your environment is like at home, but regardless of what it is, odds are the personal development is going to be more positive and inspiring than your environment. So at the very least, you want to have it in your ear to cancel out anything. And that's something that David E. Benitez said. And that's what I would say. Just personal development's anytime you can get it in, it's like it's part of your day no matter what. And if you want to get super deep into it, you can listen to it in your sleep as well. But that's for the savages. I really just, I don't know, it takes crazy people to do that, but I do that. But hopefully that helps.
Thank you so much. It did.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Listen to the chakra healing frequency and the personal development in the sleep. Your subconscious mind never turns off.
Yo, you hear me, bro?
Yo.
What's good with you, man?
Good. What's
I just
good?
want to say I'm grateful for you hosting this call for us, bro. I really appreciate it. I got one question for you. So I'm a P6 right now. What were you doing? Like, what's one thing that you were doing consistently to maintain your momentum or to maintain your success when you're a P6 going to P1?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. And what happens is I've seen a lot of people hit P6. I've seen people go straight to P1. I've seen people derank. I've seen people quit from P6. I've seen all kinds of things. And pretty much like what you did to get to P6, it's like you keep doing that. And pretty much you always got to pride yourself in being the top enroller on your team, no matter what rank you are, because you're just leading by example. And in any time that I stopped enrolling, my team stopped enrolling. And anytime I started enrolling, my team started enrolling too. So it just, by all means, it's like, hey, if my team isn't building, well, I'm going to go build a new team. Like, and you just take it into your own hands and just taking responsibility, and whatever actions you do, odds are your team's going to duplicate. But as far as no matter what rank you are, I would say the fastest way to get to the next rank is to introduce anyone and everyone on your team, especially brand new people, to uplines, people with high level results, anyone you have your number. And even if you do have results, I still do that to every person I bring in. I introduce them to 3 people, 4 people, because people don't really care if it's one person that's helping them. They like to see that it's a whole group of people that's going to help them. And it's just a psychological thing. It's just a psychological thing. And just always ask questions. And like, I hit Chairman 10. Obviously, I know something of what to do, but like, I love to just stay in the approach of, I don't know anything. What do I need to do next? Because it's not an ego thing. It's just teach me. It's like, I don't know something. Teach me, and just always taking notes and things like that. But if you focus on whatever you focus on, is going to grow. So if people are leaving, those just weren't the right people. The right people are coming my way, and you gotta just. I would just say, like, kind of in that type of thinking. That's the main thing. If the team's staying where it's at, just go ahead and roll 5 new people, and then introduce all 5 of them to 3 of your uplines, and then watch what's going to happen. They're probably all going to hit you in 50.
Man, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. I wrote all that down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I have a question. I don't know.
Yes.
Next. Okay. So since we've been in this so long, and obviously you've been through every single thing, like you said, the rank ups, the D rank, all that, like, what would you say would be the main thing in, like, starting over again? Or just like rebuilding back from zero? What would be, like, the main advice to, like, jump start it as quickly as the first time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really the toughest thing we ever have to do, but in the business, but it's what's going to make you the strongest. And I've had it, and I probably had 3 different times where my business pulled, had a 50% retracement. It's probably happened to me 3 times already. But what happens is it motivates me, because the thing is, where people go wrong with this is they start to get in their feelings, and they start to feel bad about themselves, and they start to think the wrong thoughts. Because remember, what happens to you is neutral. It's your perception, and what you focus on is going to make it grow. So as soon as you can accept what has already happened, and you put it in the past, and just look at yourself in your current moment. Like, you got to literally have amnesia and literally say, okay, this is the amount of people I have in my team, and don't even think about what you used to have. This is the people I have. What is my plan? I'm going to go. And I think the fastest way to create momentum is always to get new people and have them introduced to, and it's just launching the brand new people, because the brand new people are always the most momentum's with the brand new customer. And a lot of times people, when they do have a big pullback, what they try to do is they try to motivate their team. Well, odds are, if your team isn't growing at this current moment, it's because like you just need new people. And when you start being the person that places in a straight line, let's say you have a leader that's maybe a P600 or a P1K or whatever it is. Maybe they have 5, 10, 15 people on their team, whatever. You go ahead and give them a leg of 5, 6, 7. Hey, bro, you're actually already 40% to P1K. I already built a leg for you. And you don't know which one of those people in that leg is going to build, but one of them will, 2 of them will. And you're not really worried about that. But it's just one of those things we just got to take responsibility and say, I'm going to go enroll new people and we just got to do better each time. Each time something like that happens, we just learn like, oh, well, that didn't work. Well, what do I got to do? Because I don't know how much experience you have in network marketing, but I've only had 2 years, so I barely know anything. You know what I mean? So things happen. I'm just learning, and we just got to say, you know what? I'm learning. I'm committed to what my goal is. This happened to me because obviously I didn't do something right. What do I need to do differently? And sometimes, things just happen, but the right people will always be in your business, in your life, and I truly believe that, and I always have. So it's never. And sometimes people, when you're killing it, sometimes people from before, maybe the timing just wasn't right for them. And then when they're ready, they come back. And if they don't, if you give a good impression, they're going to refer someone to you. That's why you never burn a bridge when someone quits. Never burn a bridge because, hey, listen, I remember this guy, or let's just say someone quit your business. It's been a year later, and they're like, oh yeah, and then one of their friends tells them, hey, something about Forex. Oh yeah, I remember this girl, Tatiana, she was doing Forex. She was a really good coach, mentor, friend. And, she's actually killing it right now. You could actually go hit her up because I don't even do it anymore. And that's actually how I got involved in Forex, believe it or not. There was a guy that joined Ray, quit, and then a month or 2 later, that guy that quit ended up telling one of my friends about Ray, gave them the numbers. He signed up, and then he signed up me. So it's just like, wow, like you never know what could happen. So just keep good relationships with everyone, whether they're active or inactive in your business, and just take responsibility and just get new people and make sure you put your focus in the newest customer and make sure they get their MT4 set up, make sure they're making money, make sure they get launched correctly. And what I would do, and I know this is kind of a long answer, but what I would do if you're in that consolidation phase where maybe you had a pullback but you're kind of stuck where you're at, that's a good thing because now you can regroup and just set everything up exactly how you want it to be, set up the perfect launch, the perfect videos, and have everything set up. And then when it's all set up, you can literally just run right through the system, new people. And that's where all the excitement and momentum will always be, is the newest customer. And that's what something that I've learned, and it's just something we got to do. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. You guys have some good questions. You guys really have had some good questions. Is there any more? I'm not sure if these are new hands being raised or if these are the same hands from before. But we can do like one more question. I have another call to hop on here in a second.
Hey, I got one last question. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. My question is, what is something that you would love people to know what's something that you would love people to know about you, but they don't know? Make sense?
What I would love people to know about me that they do not know?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I definitely want to start sharing a little bit more about myself, and I've done a pretty good job, I think, of kind of expressing myself and doing things like that. But what I want people to know that they don't know is, that's a good question. You really stumping me right now. It's a good question. But what I really do balance trading and building, and most people, it's tough. It is challenging at times, but I know that you can do both. I really just don't even know how to answer that question.
How about you follow me on Instagram, and then when you get to that answer, you tell me.
Follow me on Instagram, follow you back.
All right, here's my Instagram.
Hey, just stay tuned. The content hasn't even started yet. Literally has not even started. We have a lot of videos coming, a lot of content, a lot of things behind the scenes that haven't even shown up yet. We're working on, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Stone. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this call. I really appreciate you guys hopping on,
Sorry.
paying attention, taking notes, asking questions.
Hello,
Did you have
can you
one
hear
more
me?
thing?
Sorry, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Actually, I have a question though, but it's
Okay.
not like relating to this. Today I actually had a problem with my Instagram. Like I cannot log in. So